Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, here with actually really exciting news, and news I'm very happy to talk about. Aquaman has now crossed the $1 billion at the worldwide box office. Saying here that DC's latest big screen adventure, Aquaman, has finally surpassed the $1 billion at the worldwide box office, according to Forbes. And that's good. That's grand. That's great. That's amazing. That's freaking amazing that it crossed the $1 billion mark. James Wan actually came out here on Twitter a couple hours ago and said, "Thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who has supported this underdog for making this non-mainstream character, and yes, with leading POC individuals in front and behind the camera, connect on a huge global scale. In the words of Aquaman himself, mahalo." Now, Aquaman, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Go watch it. It's legitimately a lot of fun. Like, I saw Aquaman and I was like, okay, well, I should say when I first saw Mamoa as Aquaman in Justice League, I'm like, no, he's good. He's pretty solid. That's pretty good. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Aquaman. But it's like, I wasn't super excited to see Aquaman. And then I watched that 5-minute extended preview where they showed off a lot of the kind of swashbuckling side of it, to be fair, and like the visuals and everything else. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty in. And then I started reading some of the reviews as they were coming out, and people were having a lot of fun with it. I talked to one of my friends who got to see it before I did, because he lives in LA and he's a son of a bitch. He really, really liked it. And then I saw the early screening of it that Amazon put on, and I fucking loved it. Like, I loved it. I've watched it a couple times since then. And for me, Aquaman is an underdog story that I'm so proud of, because a movie like Aquaman should not have crossed the $1 billion mark. Let's be fair. Let's be realistic. Where Aquaman was, at least in terms of being a solid film adaptation, kind of a joke. For the longest time, it was an absolute joke. I mean, go back to Entourage in like 2003, where Vincent plays Aquaman, and the movie opens up larger than Spider-Man's original opening from 2002. And because it was directed by James Cameron, they all made a joke about it. They played it up for this particular show. But it was one of those things that you knew back of your mind would never, ever happen. And here it is, crossing the $1 billion mark, when Spider-Man Homecoming only did a little over $800 million when it came out nearly 2 years ago. So, you know what? It kind of had the last laugh. I mean, all things considered right now, Warner Brothers executives should be looking at Walter Hamada and going, listen, you need to talk to Jeff Johns, and you need to talk to them now, because this is the truth of the matter is there's been such a shakeup in regards to the DCEU as a whole in the last couple years, that it's been very difficult to lock down the leadership, right? First, you had Zack Snyder getting full control through Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. After that came out and tanked in its second weekend, the executives at Warner's basically restricted his power, brought in Jeff Johns and someone else in order to kind of like right the ship. They even brought in Ben Affleck to executive produce Justice League and oversee the edit. That didn't really work out very well because his life kind of crumbled apart. Then, of course, you had the situation with Zack Snyder's daughter, unfortunately passing away, and then Zack pulling back from the film and replacing him with Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon attempting to copy Zack Snyder's style through snappy, plucky dialogue was a mishmash. And then, of course, after the failure of Justice League, they fired, or they were demoted, if you will, Jeff Johns. But his first big movie, the first one that he had control over, the first movie that he allowed to go down the way it did, was Aquaman. First $1 billion movie from the DCEU, Aquaman. Even Wonder Woman didn't cross $1 billion. Fucking Wonder Woman didn't cross $1 billion. And I don't even think Wonder Woman 2 is going to cross $1 billion. Maybe. I don't want to call that too soon. Right? We haven't seen a trailer for it yet. It's going to do well, but it's like, still, this movie did really, really, really well overseas because it was a spectacle, because it played up its comic roots. And to be fair, to be absolutely fair, as much as I love Zack Snyder, if Snyder was still in charge of the DCEU, I don't think James Wan would have had the ability to play with it the way that he did. I do think that Jeff Johns, and someone who understands comics, who gets the comic idea, who understands the spectacle of it, nurtured that desire and that creation. And the fact that they were snubbed on the Oscars for VFX is the stupidest damn thing. So that's how I see that. Aquaman crossing $1 billion it's a standing ovation moment. A movie like that should not have done this, right? It should not have done it. It should not have passed $1 billion, but it did. And James Wan is the best director to take it over that league. Like I know like Warner's probably at this point is asking him if he wants to come on for more, but he took Fast and Furious 7 to over $1 billion. You know, the guy knows how to make these movies, how to craft these fun stories. What I'd love is not for him to take over. I would love for him to teach a new batch of filmmakers to follow their artistic dreams. And you know what? To get executives in there too. To get executives at Warner Brothers, these comic book properties, to get them in there and make them realize, wait a minute, we can have fun. Right? Marvel's been doing it because it's producer led, but they still have fun with the visuals and they play a lot of things up. DC hasn't really done that. And the first time they let go, the first time they go hog wild, the first time they just jizz color across the screen, $1 billion. So yeah, they need to do more of that. I am actually now more excited for Shazam than ever before because it's following in again that kind of trend. Now I don't know if I don't think Shazam's going to be anywhere near as visual a spectacle. Nowhere near. But it could still be as much fun. And that's the whole thing with Aquaman, and even Shazam on the trailer looks like they went in there with those 3 words as being the number one aspect: fun. So at this point, I'm super excited for the future of the DCEU. I would love to see where things are going to go. I think they made a huge mistake walking away from Jeff Johns. Whatever's happening with his Green Lantern, whatever happens with that, I think is going to be something worth checking out. And they finally gave Marvel a run for its money. And Kevin Feige, I think at this point is now finally super excited. He already knows he's already got the top dog spot, but now they got competition. And I think Feige realizes that you can have a friendly competition with your, I guess you could say your rivals, because it makes everything better. DC's been trying to copy Marvel for years. When they finally did it, $1 billion. Now the comic book arms race is on. And I think we as fans are going to be all the better for it. Anyway, I leave it to you, your thoughts, your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think? Is this a good thing, a bad thing for you? Did you like Aquaman, hate Aquaman? Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out. Hey, thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to get more up-to-date movie news and information, as well as breakdowns of trailers and other types of stuff, be sure to watch the other videos, click subscribe, and check back daily for more content from me. Again, my name is Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. Have yourself a great day, guys, and peace out.